Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing the new for 2018 Jaeger-LeCoultre Polaris Automatic, 41mm in stainless steel. This is part of a full Polaris model line designed to celebrate 50 years of the definitive 1968 Polaris design. So you have a full line of watches, not just alarms, but all of them are sports watches, and this is the purest of the lot. 41mm with the dial redolent of the 1968 Polaris. It's a useful 100-meter diver that features an internal rotating bezel and a lot of smart features as well as elegance that makes it viable equally as a sports watch and a dress watch. On my 16-centimeter circumference wrist, the timepiece is easy to accommodate. Being 41mm, it's a full-sized watch but not an oversized watch. 11.4mm thick means it will fit underneath any dress cuff or tight sleeve, and then lug to lug, the watch has a very agreeable 47.5mm span that makes this timepiece acceptable for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. That said, JLC was conscientious of modern design cues and norms, and there's a 21mm spacing between the lugs, so it doesn't appear to be choked where it joins its strap. There's a nice proportion about case and lug spacing. Now the strap itself is a very nice piece. As you can see, it's a calfskin. Let's get a little bit closer. With a lovely medium brown, a monotone stitch, sheer construction that shows you the layers of leather on the side, and then on the underside you can see a more natural calfskin. By the way, you can see made in France. That's Camille Fournet, the OEM supplier to Jaeger-LeCoultre. Pull tab spring bars. You can easily remove the strap from the case if you want to change the strap or throw it on rubber or throw it on a water-resistant aftermarket option. JLC does sell a rubber strap that you can use with this watch, so keep that in mind. Now, the buckle itself features some smart decision-making on the part of JLC's product planners. You can push a button inside the double deployant clasp to remove the clasp from the strap, because if you make it easy to remove the strap tool-free, the expectation is that you're going to be working without tools, so you won't have a tool on hand if the buckle doesn't also make itself removable by push button or pull tab. Fortunately, it does, so you're able to completely swap straps without any tools whatsoever. Let's remove my finger oils here because that's unfair to the watch. Talk a little bit about the case band. There are some elements of the vintage Polaris here, but it's principally a modern case design. Longitudinal satin finish on the hoods of the lugs, and then a little bit of a flared bevel with polish. There's a polished flank to the bezel itself, and you can see the bezel is quite minimalist. The crystal has a little bit of a domed profile to evoke the 1960s plexiglass crystals that would have been used on the 1968 through 1970 Polaris 68s. There were 65 and 63 Polaris designs, but this is designed to look like the one that most people associate with the Polaris line. And that means you have quarter Arabics, you have oversized trapezoidal indices, and you have broad baton-style hands at center. There's also a differential finish. As you can see, there's matte center, and then a raised hour track with a frosted finish and a nicely sloped Rayhaut featuring a matte black and white on black calibration for the internal bidirectional rotating bezel. That bezel is quite useful. As you can see, you align it with the minute hand, and now you have an impromptu 0 to 60 minute timer. So you don't need a chronograph or an alarm for that matter to time intervals on your Polaris. I happen to find that this is very handy, and you don't have the downstream service costs of a complication. Now, the crown down at 4 o'clock is used for setting and winding the watch, though it is an automatic winder. Take note, this dial is of high quality. All of the indices, as well as the JL logo and the Arabic numerals, are applique, not printed or embossed. Turn the watch over and you can see the movement that makes it all happen. Behind a display caseback with a tungsten rotor, automatic winding, water resistant down to 100 meters, you have the Jaeger-LeCoultre caliber 898E1. See if we can get ourselves a bit more light, move in a bit closer, improve the focus, and now you can see it quite well. Unidirectional winding is more efficient than bidirectional, so this watch uses unidirectional. Ceramic rotor bearings, unlubricated, are more efficient and more durable than lubricated steel, so ceramic is used here. The balance beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, and the movement has a 40-hour power reserve. You'll also note that it's a free sprung balance, so once it's regulated, it can withhold any variation that might ordinarily occur on a mobile stud index as a result of shock or concussion on the wrist. So not only is the watch well regulated, but the free-sprung architecture lets it hold that regulation. You can see Côte de Genève across the skeletonized rotor as well as the bridges. Heat blued, not chemically dyed screws right here. The watch does feature stop seconds or hacking seconds. There's an open barrel in the interests of making the movement a little bit more slender and slimmer. It's a great looking movement. It goes through the master 1000 hours control. So 1000 hours of water resistant testing, power reserve testing, winding efficiency testing, and chronometric precision. It's a fully cased standard, unlike the COSC's bare movement standard. 30 joules, and again, all of it encased down to 100 meters. It's not a hardcore dive watch, but it is a versatile sports watch that can be used for light-duty diving and most common aquatic activities. You can see it and make it yours on the watch box. JLC Polaris Automatic, a lovely no date. You can see fully loomed by night, including the index of the internal rotating bezel.